Oh, welcome back to an M2C news update. Yes, because stuff happens yesterday, which is out of my control, so I need to then cover this particular stuff. So yes, this is going to be a quick news update. A few things have been clarified since we discussed them in the morning, and as well as a few other kind of aspects that need to be talked about. And also for the people that wondered about yesterday's video, I made the Angela Unawaking video about 4 days ago, and it was scheduled in to go live, and then yesterday I awakened her. Go figure, it happens. Next up, and it looks like the Alliance Wars matchmaking is a little bit broken, and this has actually been acknowledged by Kabam. It's kind of fun to see that. I just laugh. That's all I really can do is like laugh at that. Like, where does it draw this? Lots of people are speculating about where this is being drawn from. Is this based on prestige, based on the amount of characters in certain roster? And people are pointing out that maybe because at the time of this being taken, that MMX Awaken, they are actually less members, so therefore it's a total prestige, so it's based on prestige. Man, yeah, okay, it's all very confusing. And even us as an alliance with Petty, it's an alliance that have a better rating than us, not an equal rating to us. So is that, again, based on prestige? Is our prestige as an alliance a lot higher, so therefore we match against something in equal standing, and that is deemed to be more fairer? Well, let's quickly dive into this. And obviously, as we know, Command Mike has addressed this and gone like, hey, we need to have a look at this, more improvements will be made. And hopefully it's addressed for people for placing at certain time zones, because that's one of the big concerns is people want to place at certain times based on their work schedule, their life schedule, and it's terrible at times. You just go like, this game becomes more about your life, and that taking over aspect is just like, man, this is why people flag off because of addiction to the game. I've seen a few people message me and go, hey, you know, I'm gonna have to go away from this game now because I'm just becoming too addicted. I need to focus on the key things in my life. And it's like, life comes first. You only get one life. The game will, you know, will go at some point. So be real on that. Also on that subject of time zone, shout out to RC51 for putting this together. This is pretty cool. I strongly suggest going to the link in the description and checking this out. It just kind of gives you a perspective of time frames and enlistment time frames. There's also another alliance that's been affected by this kind of higher rating versus lower rating, and the post is correct. They could lose, and that MMX, I laugh about that previous one, they could lose against Awakened. Why not? On page 16, there's a clarification by Command Mike on the subject. It doesn't really go into kind of great detail of like how things are matched up, but they have said they will be taking feedback from people, and hopefully it's a case they can address some of the things that people think that are a real problem. Time zones, and also the way that the match is done, whether or not it's prestige based or rating based. It's kind of confusing at the moment for the player base. Also, not to mention that there's a new members joining into the war bug, which they're going to try and air out, and there is a workaround that's here. So as you know, Dave and Buster's there's this new game, this arcade game, and it looks pretty cool. In fact, you can actually win cards or buy cards from it. It's like trading cards, which I love trading card games. Yeah, the idea of an MCOC card game, like a trading card game, yeah. I like that. I've heard that you have to, like, you can get like awakenings or duplications of characters. Again, sounds pretty cool. I used to play a game called WWF Raw Deal, which is then changed to WWE Raw Deal, if anybody remembers it. I've actually got a video on the channel about that, but yeah, I absolutely love trading card games. But there is like obviously that monetized aspect to that if you buy, you have to buy more cards and stuff. So yeah, there's hook, line, and sink. It's not just in the game; it's out the game as well with it. But they're not responsible for that. It's another. If like a company says, "I'm going to put an arcade game," it's got some kind of trading card function with it, then it's a thing. Now this is mainly in America at Dave and Buster's, as we said. So it should be at Dave and Buster's. So yes, go to Dave and Buster's to enjoy some playing of Marvel Contest of Champions. I like the way that some people said on Twitter. I think somebody said in particular, does it suffer from connection problems? Oh dear, love you people, you're brilliant. Next up, a lot of people feel very strongly that the arena bots are back. Now, I always think to myself when I'm doing an arena prediction, am I really doing it solid by giving it a, well, solid prediction? And I do at times and kind of go like, well, and people even tell me, hey, you don't get it right. Other people are better at predicting than you. Crafty Grinding's better at predicting than you. Well, this time we're both wrong, which is sad to say. At least it would have been great if both of us were right. He predicted 35 mil. I predicted 27, 28 mil for 5-star Havoc, and unfortunately both wrong. He actually went for about just over 40 mil. I know somebody sent me a screenshot of him going for 41 mil, which leads a lot of people to speculation whether or not arena bots are back. Though do please understand that we had that champion hyped. Hyped by YouTubers, not hyped by predictions, but hyped by YouTubers, and also hyped by, well, further YouTubers. Let's just not beat around in a bush, or beat off in a bush as I usually say. The fact is, there are thousands of Marvel Contest of Champions YouTubers, whether or not they're very small or very large. There's so many nowadays. When I started doing it, there was just 10. Arena predictions could have been done by one YouTuber and it'd be fine. But the fact is, there's loads. If you overhype a champion, people are going to swarm to get him or her. If it's a case that a champion is not hyped, then people won't go for him. But the fact is, if you put tons of videos out going, this champion's amazing, then everyone's going to get into the arena and go for him. I'm not quite sure if arena bots are indeed back, but it'd be very disappointing if that is indeed the case for that. And as well, the disappointing side of things, as we discussed in the earlier news, is that these people get to keep those champions. Where in stuff like the Olympics, if a champion is a carry that, oh god, what was wrong with me? A person is found to be doped, they then get stripped of that medal, and then the next one up gets that medal. And that would be nice to see if that was replicated in the actual game itself. It's not though, so it's disappointing. So hopefully that responds to Mabazuk's point that YouTubers comment can increase the amount. I personally went low because I would hope that the community would be smart enough to go low. But the problem is, most of the time, not everybody does. To most players with a huge roster, maybe a unit spend, would probably say that 40 mil is a lot more doable. It's certainly better than the 60 mil, 65 mil days of previous days and years. Final stories were still out when it comes to Summoner Advancement rewards. Yeah, they haven't come through yet. Hopefully they come through fairly shortly. You know, I need to get out the door in a moment, so I'm just gonna like wrap up the news here. But yeah, we're still waiting for them. Hopefully they come through fairly shortly, but it could take a little while. Depends what's happened. If anything could happen. So yeah, that has been the news. I've got to quickly get out the door. I think I've got a matter of like about 40-50 minutes, so I've got to edit this as quickly as possible. It's not gonna be a huge edit. So yeah, quickly do this. I'll see you tonight for the live stream, 1900 hours GMT. Be there or be square or be circle or be whatever you want to be. Bye for now. Ta-ra.